Hello, dumplings. Welcome to Let's Get Ugly, the podcast where we dive deep into the latest beauty, wellness, and lifestyle secrets that aren't always pretty, but always real.
We're your co-hosts, Trishna and Disha.
The sister duo keeping it 100% authentic, really silly, and sassy all at the same time.
We're definitely silly and super sassy, so come join us and grab your favorite drink, and welcome to this episode of Let's Get Ugly.
Angela, welcome to Let's Get Ugly.
Thank you for having me here. What an honor.
We are so excited about today because we love the aesthetic of the brand and we can't wait to talk to you about that. And we actually haven't talked to anyone about nails as yet. So this is a first dive into the nail world for us as well, and talking to you about your style and, of course, the thing we love most, beauty.
Yes. Oh my God. I absolutely cannot wait to delve into everything about beauty and nails.
Amazing.
Wearing our own, obviously, I have to represent.
Yes, you do. So we're going to get to know Fette very soon, but also about how nails fit into everyday beauty now, not just about being trendy or for a moment. What do you think nails communicate about someone that clothes or makeup can't?
I mean, for me, I always say clothes or makeup is for other people to look at. Right? Whenever you're walking on the street, unless you're walking past a mirror or reflective surface every single time for me, you don't really see what you're wearing or what your makeup looks like. But your nails is very intimately have a relationship with you. It's very much for you, right? Every single time you lift a coffee cup, every time you pick up your child or whatever you're doing, you see it. So I almost feel like nail is, for me, the smallest unit of luxury that is serving me first. So yeah, that is what nails are for me.
I love that.
I love the way that you put that together. I mean, I feel like with the nails, they've become a huge part of our identity, especially in the beauty world as well.
100%.
Why do we think that is? What's changed?
I feel like it's very individual, very expressive, very democratic, right? It's very on brand with what we're embracing in the current culture. It doesn't care what your age is, what your size is. It doesn't care your race. And it's a very plain canvas on your body that you can just go wild. It's pure play. There's no limitation to it. And because it's so expressive, I feel like a lot of people, they can have hidden messages. Either they want you to see or it's just between them and themselves. So I feel like that kind of like promote a big trend in making a nail art. It is what it is today.
I feel like, of course, Fette has its very own specific aesthetic as well. Yeah. But before we kind of get into the designs, I want to know about the idea and where this came from. You've had an incredibly successful career in journalism as well as law, I believe.
Yes.
So how did this happen?
I feel like this could be a long story, but it feels like it really is something about embracing what your heart desires and also what you really want to do. I was in law for the longest time, and I feel like as, you know, growing up in a traditional Asian family, I ticked all the right boxes. I followed the right career path. You go to the right school, go to the right kind of like job, and you climb the ladder, and all you're thinking is, I'm making more salaries, getting bigger bonus, maybe making partner in the end. But for me, I didn't know really what I wanted outside of these things. So I feel like in the end, when I get to that stage of reaching that final stage, you kind of feel like, wait, I still wasn't fulfilled. So I constantly thought about what I wanted to do. And in the end, when I was sitting in the nail salon, I was getting my gel removed and changed. And my nails were getting so soft to the tip that it was bendy. I don't know whether you guys have that moment.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was like, wait, I need to have a break, right? And this was like, I think in 2024, January. And I was taking a break. But as girls, you feel so undone when your nails are not on. Mm-hmm. And very soon after Fashion Week came around, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like going to events. And I just feel like not put together and not ready. And I was looking into optionalities, and in Asia, there were hand-painted press-on nails that you can put on and remove really easily, and it doesn't damage your nails. But whatever I was looking at, I was like, wait, the Eastern aesthetics and Western aesthetics are very different. And I all of a sudden thought, wait, I want to bridge that gap. I wanted to build a brand that kind of like bring the convenience of the press-on nails together with the elevated aesthetics that we're used to here. So yeah, that's how it came around.
Wow, and it's so true. I mean, I completely relate to the damage because I think I went for genuinely one manicure. It was one manicure.
Yeah.
And e-files are something that obviously a lot of therapists use and they're really good at using them. But e-files also sometimes can erode your nails very, very quickly.
Yes.
And I'm still at the end of that journey of waiting it to grow out. And it's been like a year. Because nails don't grow as fast as we think they do either.
No, they don't, especially when they're damaged. You feel like, wait, all I'm doing is waiting for you to get healthier again. And they're like, we're taking our sweet time. So, yeah, for sure. And also, I don't know whether you ever felt like this, but we had a pop-up recently, right? Every single girl that came around to look at our products, I'm like, oh, let me check out your nails and see what size you are, because our products comes in 4 different sizes for best fit. 99 out of 100 girls would say, oh, don't look at my nails, they're gross. Or like, don't look at my hands or something. Apart from those 3 girls that have probably just done their nails like 2 days ago, everybody else felt so not ready to show their nails, even if they're just a little grown or a little chipped. So it's a thing that makes us feel ready, not even just pretty. It makes us feel like ready to take on whatever we need to do. So yeah.
Style, beauty, and, you know, even nails, they're all a part of confidence, aren't they?
Yeah, it really is. You feel empowered when your nails are ready for some odd reason, even though it's such a small element and most people don't even notice your nails, but you know it yourself.
Yeah. I think that's what makes it even more noticeable because we're more critical of ourselves and we notice more of the little details on ourselves. So when they're not ready, it can almost feel like something's holding us back. What is it?
And you use your hands so often, so you see it constantly. If it's not ready, you're your own like harshest critique. You're like, wait, my nails are not done, you know, and people are gonna see this, but in fact, it's fine. But what we can do is like, you don't need that commitment or the 2 hours in a salon chair. You can put on something and remove it and change it later according to your mood or what you're doing, so you feel ready.
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, looking at your designs now, because they are gorgeous, how have you decided on which ones that you're launching and which ones have you left behind on the mood board, or do they all kind of make it? Like, what's your process?
I feel like there were 2 kind of like criteria I would go through. One of them being, obviously you have to stay authentic to yourself. Regardless what is trendy, if I wouldn't wear it myself, if my friends wouldn't wear it, they're never going to make it anyway. But secondly, if they look just good as nail pieces and don't look good on hand, that is a no-no. Because sometimes the color looks so great on them own, and then when you put them on, you're like, wait, it dulls my skin, or it just simply doesn't flatter. So that is what we have the process where we make sure there is a cutoff line. You know, you make it, you don't, sorry, you know.
Wow. I love the like actual like concept of trying things on.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you actually like go through it yourself.
Yeah,
it's
you
amazing.
have to. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like a jacket or a piece of clothing. It's the idea of whether the clothing is wearing you or whether you are wearing the piece of clothes. It's the same as nails. Like the focal point should be the hand. It shouldn't be the nails. It should be flattering you and your hands.
I think that's such an interesting way of thinking about it. With your aesthetic, how would you describe it? Because it is very fun, but how would you describe it to listeners as well as viewers? Like, what's the vibe you're going for with Fette?
I think the Fette vibe, I mean, we talked about fun before. I think one of the reasons I left law is definitely to have more fun with what I'm going to do in life. And fun is a huge element. We want the Fette aesthetic to be joy-inducing, to bring out that inner child in you. But having said that, we want it to be chic and elevated, to be able to be wearable on a daily basis, right? It doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be intricate. It can just be unapologetically you. But at the same time, I think despite the fact that we want to be stylish, we want it to be elevated, we still wanted to be that brand that says, you can indeed sit with us. You know, we want it to be embracing. We want to be the, I don't know, the community, the sister you want to gossip with, you want to, you know, bitch about your sister stole your dress or something like that. We don't want to be like, did you steal her dress?
It happens a lot. It happens
It's
a
the
lot.
other way,
Yeah.
though.
Which is why we're like, we just want to be a fun place to be. We want to be aspirational, but we don't want to be distant. We want to be aspirational as to see, oh, look, this can also look good on you. But we want to be like so friendly, we're going to have fun together. So, yeah.
That sounds really fun. Can you talk us through some of your designs here?
Oh my God. I have to say, I brought over some of the sets that are so teeny little pocket-sized drops. So like there were some designs that are very quintessentially me. I'm very much a magpie, I would call myself. I love anything that's pink that has a little bit of shimmer. So this is a cat eye. And the light would change as the shine would change as the light catches differently. And it has a little bit of a bubble, sort of like sparkle inside. So it has like depth and layer. And I feel like this is quintessentially sort of like Fette. And it has like a medium almond, sharper, kind of like feminine shape. But also what I'm wearing, which is kind of like a part of a new collection we're trying to develop, which is like a nude sort of like shade. And it's very everyday, but it also adds a little bit of cat eye on top. So it has that glimmer and shine, but very subtly. And then we have other styles that are kind of like shorter. This is a short almond style. So you can see for girlies with shorter nail beds, because everybody come with like different lengths of nail beds. What looks super long on some can look super short on others. So we have different lengths. And this is a set we're currently calling Coffee and Rain. Two of potentially London's
biggest
things.
for sure.
Literally you see every day. So this is also one of our most popular sets. So we want them to be colorful, but we also want them to be wearable. So we have, I brought over some more of the more intricate designs, but what I'm wearing, the plain sets, the plain colors are also kind of like the most popular ones because people feel like they're very accessible, they're very work appropriate, but they're never boring.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You can definitely see that.
Yeah.
How do you guys figure out which colors and trends make it to your new collections? Is it more based on like personal feeling of what you're liking, or is there anywhere you look for inspiration?
It's so hard because I feel like now, whenever I go on my social media or Pinterest, because what I've been looking for, everything that's been feeding to me is just nails. I can't get away from it. If you're saying like where you're looking for inspiration, I'm like, where am I gonna stop getting inspiration? And also you have all the trendsetters like Dua Lipa or Hailey Bieber, who's big in the nail the inspo era. They wear whatever and a lot of things become trendy, but then you have a lot of artists that have their own iteration of that element. For example, the Bambi looking fawn spots have been so trendy recently, but the Fette take on it is something more polished, a little bit elevated, so you can wear it every day instead of having a full-blown sort of like spotty collection on 10 fingers of yours. So
I feel like it's really, really interesting, but apart from the designs, being an entrepreneur is a big step. What has Fette taught you from a mindset perspective since you've been running it?
I think this is probably a little cliche, but definitely to one, step outside of your comfort zone, and two, done is better than perfect. Working as a lawyer or a writer, you have to be spot on. You have to be very accurate with your facts and information. But with being an entrepreneur, you're never going to have that facts and information. Most of the times I feel like I'm shooting in the dark. And you hope something is going to work, but you don't know whether it's going to work at all. And it's through very much trial and error. And I feel like it's also a journey of embracing yourself when you know you're not perfect and you know things are not necessarily going to work out and you are not going to make this a huge success overnight. And that is super humbling, but also super reassuring in a weird sense because you accept yourself fully and you support yourself fully from that front.
I think that's what makes it hard. Like, you go from literally being able to back up every answer, knowing what direction everything is going to result in, and then here you are, like you said, literally shooting in the dark.
Yeah, super scary.
That is so scary.
It's so scary. I feel like leaving a career behind at my age. I mean, when I left, I was already late 30s. I mean, to people, I think I might have been the definition of stupid. And probably was. And I was thinking for a long time after whether I had made the right choice. But the happiness of doing something that your heart warms to naturally, you can't fake that reaction. You can't fake that feeling. So every single day I wake up, almost for the first time, that you feel like an adult because you're able to tell yourself how this day is going to be, what I'm going to do, and rearrange your time according to your daily schedule, etc. And that is a feeling that's very liberating.
Yeah. I mean, how do you keep yourself motivated in that? Because obviously when you come from a very corporate background, it's almost like every minute is kind of assigned to you in a way. What kind of tips do you have to keep yourself motivated in those moments?
I feel like I always felt like people when they say, oh, when you're doing things you love, you don't have to have whatever. I always say, like, you know, what a load of BS until I started doing things that I actually loved. So now my husband used to call me, like, I mean, he never used to say I was lazy, but he also said, oh, like Angela likes to chill, right? I love to chill. But now he's like, you need to take at least one day out of a week to relax and do something that is not work related. So I do think when you are doing something that you feel like your purpose is intertwined with, you don't get tired of it. You feel like you see a lot of things to be done and it's endless, but you are not, you might be a little tired physically, but mind, you're excited. I mean, there are so many things associated with founders. I'm pretty sure you guys know a lot of things like people's kind words, you know, the ping on Shopify, there is a sale, or someone tagged us on social media. Those exhilarated feelings that you don't really get in the corporate world. I mean, you get when you win a case or the client's happy, but it's still different.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I think also what we don't talk enough about when it comes to entrepreneurship is the loneliness.
Yeah. Oh my God. So I feel like I experienced the loneliness before because I did a PhD. But at the time it was very different. I have to force myself to be a self-starter because I did a PhD because one, I thought my dad would be super proud of me. And two, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So it wasn't easy out. It was seen as a very shiny, you know, badge, whatever. Yeah. But it didn't really mean super much to myself. So it was a very lonely journey because you're the only one researching that specific topic. And I think now it's the same, but the feeling is completely different. I'm more excited. I wake up with a purpose. I don't need people to tell me what to do or there be a deadline for me to like meet. Now I'm just like, okay, I need to do this. I need to do that. I'm going to be late on that or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like you're never going to forget, like with the PhD, obviously, like you get to the Viva and then it's done.
Yeah.
And like you get the fancy outfit and you get, you know, the great graduation and the title that comes along with it. And obviously a lot of self-fulfillment, but this is like never ending, you know?
It's never ending and it's such a journey of creation. You're creating something and I feel like that is more fulfilling, which is why I kind of, I mean, I don't know whether this is responsible or not of me, but I keep on telling people, I was like, you need to follow your heart and do what you're destined to do. But I understand everybody have different situations and different responsibilities. Not everybody can throw everything away and start something anew, which is also why I desperately want to be successful because not for the commercial side of it, obviously great to have, but I also want to show people when you are starting like a midlife sort of almost a crisis kind of way, you don't have to go back to being a struggling artist. You can have success when you pivot halfway, when you throw away an established career, and don't be scared, and it's okay.
I think that's really good to hear as well, because I feel like often, especially growing up in Asia, it's like, no, this is your one thing. You're studying this, you're going to this, and that's it. And that's your life. And it's carved out for you in that way. So I think it's actually refreshing even from that side to see, like, you know what, you can do it and you will.
Yeah.
Because even back home, no one understands our jobs. They're like, who knows what they do?
Yeah, it's true.
So
They're talking into microphones and interviewing people. I completely get you. If I tell my mom today, Mom, I'm like on a podcast, my mom's like, great. Not knowing exactly what that entails or what I've been talking about. But also I feel like, I think we're fellow Asians. We understand the importance of education, having the right career, and making our parents proud, and being that shiny, plate that they can show their friends as well. But I also feel like ever since I started following my own path, I was surprised how supportive my parents have been. And that was something maybe we are blessed in our generation, because they are probably putting us through that path because that's all they know. But they also just want us to be happy. Yeah. And when we're walking down a path, knowing that we're happy, for them is probably more important than a shiny career. Yeah.
I feel like COVID changed a lot of mindsets. I think Asia, specifically Hong Kong, had a very, very tough lockdown. And I think people in that period of time really evaluated what the purpose of life is and what it should be. And I think that, when we went home in September this year, we noticed that there was a really, really big change in expectations. And I feel like people have just started to, on an everyday basis, be more excited about the everyday. And I think that's something that I think the pandemic has taught the world, is like there are other avenues to joy. There are other avenues to happiness, and there are so many different ways in which you can actually create your own expectations in life.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, me too. And I think that, like, of course, the Hong Kong thing is work comes first, but it can be fun. And that's the best part. It's like,
for sure. The mentality in Hong Kong definitely has changed, because I remember going there for work before the pandemic, and it would just be nonstop. And after that, obviously it was so isolated for a long time. And then there was other side of like politics side of things we're not going to really discuss or go into because it's so complex. Yeah. But the mindset definitely have shifted, and people, like you said, view other joy and other sorts of happiness apart from just the nonstop churning and grinding.
Yeah, it's remarkable though, I think. And the change has been really remarkable in a really positive way.
Yeah.
Because the world in itself is really intense, I find. So
for sure,
it's nice to see like people finding a journey that they're really excited about.
Yeah.
But let's talk about your vibe, because you look amazing.
Thank you.
And I feel like your personal style is such a presence of you online. How much of your own aesthetic naturally blends into Fette?
I think the answer is, I would say it's 120%, because as I mentioned, you have to be authentic. But this didn't come without its own implications, because at the beginning, we are in the industry of media and fashion, and you see a lot of people who are literally perfect, and they're so stylish. And also, like I said, I'm a magpie. I gravitate towards things that are pink, that are sparkly, that are whatever, which probably isn't considered as highbrow sometimes in the world of luxury fashion. So at the beginning, I felt like I was trying to be more elevated, a little bit too hard, but we ventured, maybe I was away from my true heart or true feelings about what would look good initially on the journey. But later on, I'm like, wait, we need to be true to who we are as a brand. If we want to be elevated, if we want to be Saint Laurent, there will be 1,000 other brands who are like that. And their founders will be authentically like that. And, when I founded Fette, I wanted to be something different. And that is exactly what this world need. So now I would say we are 100%, 120% authentic to my own style. Whatever I love, I'm being unapologetic about it. And we also want our customers to feel that way. Yeah.
I think that's great. Authenticity is a word that gets thrown around a lot in
Yeah.
terms of right now, of the last few years. I feel like everyone's like, this is authentic, let's be authentic. How does that authenticity translate? Is it through the language that you use on the socials? Is it through the way that you present the packaging? Like, how do you show up as yourself?
think yours is so right, because I wasn't even thinking of the language side, but you're very right, because I am a very naturally bubbly person. So in our tone of voice for social media, at the beginning, we were going to be a certain way of pillar, because we had a branding consultant who helped us with designing the logo. And I think the tone of voice at the beginning wasn't that helpful or young. But now I think even from that side, we're being super true to who we are, what we feel good, what comes naturally. So we have a lot of emojis. We try to be super helpful to customers. We don't adhere to any sort of like templates. From that side, that is being authentic to us. And being the package, actually, we are trying at the beginning. So the ones behind the smaller package is our original package. And everybody comments on how beautifully done the boxes are. And it's amazing. But for the past year, it's tormented me how wasteful it has been. People love it, but it doesn't really serve a purpose after. So I'm like, wait, how can we make it that people can use it more? So we came out with this smaller package, which we call it sort of like your pocket-sized Fette box. You can put in your bag, you can take your toolkit with you, and it's very easy for you to do your nails on the tube, on the go, wherever you are gonna be. So I think even that transition comes from needs. But I was advised against it by some friends who are like, it's so high-end looking, your original packaging. And I agree with it. And I think with that, we still need to go with the heart, what is going to be used more, And people are going to probably find it more convenient. And when they are going to be put in the new mailer that we have, they will fit through the letterbox. So you no longer have to stay at home to receive your nails. And I feel like that is probably more important than simply maintaining a high-end image.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you were telling us about your shoot that you did and how like everything, you're going into a new direction. What is that new direction for the brand?
I think at the beginning, our message was, hello, we're Fette, we're here. And I think now the message is pretty much similar, but with the addition of we're not going anywhere, and this is how we are going to have fun together. So the mood is bigger, is bolder, is very tongue-in-cheek, is having fun with different elements and concepts, which, very cleverly kind of like developed. And you would just have to wait a little bit longer to see, because we're going to launch it in January.
Can't wait.
Yeah, we can't wait to see it, because we do love all the visuals and everything that the brand does. It does feel, it's like literally you to a T, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much.
So moving into your fashion and beauty element, is there a reference or a person that inspires you the most?
It's actually really, you mean in terms of nails or in terms of everything?
I think your overall vibe, because like you said, your nails are very much a part of you.
Yeah, that's true. I would always say the one person in fashion that inspires me the most is Anna Della Rosso, and she wears everything sort of unapologetically, and she is very out there with her sequins, with her sparkles, and she used to be judged and criticized because, people say, oh, you're simply just wearing the runway look on yourself. And she still, just made it into her own style. And she was the editor in large for Vogue for the longest time. So, all power to her. So I would say she will always give me inspiration. And I also met her randomly when I was in Milan one day. And we bumped into each other in this, this was a long time ago when Dolce & Gabbana still had a diffusion line called DNG.
Oh my
and
gosh.
she was trying on the dresses. We were trying on the same dresses. And it was like super mini. And, obviously people would say she's of an older age, she should be wearing certain ways and etc. She didn't care, and she just 100% owned it. And I feel like that's the energy we need to have more instead of having to be artistic, having to be highbrow, having to be polished. We have to embrace everything.
I think that's really refreshing as well, because it does feel like everything's become a bit too curated lately.
Oh, super curated. Oh my God.
And that's what's been a bit tricky about it. But are there any cultural inspirations that are currently showing up in the designs that you're thinking of launching?
I feel like cultural references, I would say we are trying to launch a collection of nudes. I don't know whether there is cultural references, but I would say, to begin with, I mentioned that I was trying to bridge the gap between the East aesthetics and the Western aesthetic. Yeah. But now I think I started to appreciate more the Eastern side of subtlety. So the nudes really steps from that kind of like subtle differences in a lot of tones. And once we start developing this collection, obviously it's to make sure everybody, regardless of your skin shades, whatnot, you feel there is a shade that complements your skin. So being nude doesn't really mean to simply just be the same color. It means how to elevate and make you feel you have that glow from within. Because when I started, I don't know about you guys how you feel about the word nude, but when I started, I was quite surprised how the word simply was the same as beige in a lot of contexts.
Yeah.
Like if I'm looking for, can I have this in a nude color, like a handbag or whatever, people are just going to bring me a small spectrum of variation of nude shades.
Yeah.
But with nude for different skin tone, it's actually about the undertone. Like I would say my skin tone probably is with a bit of yellow undertone, but it's cool.
Yes.
And then my other friend will have a pinkier, warmer undertone. So what looks good on me will look completely disastrous on her, and vice versa. And even though, our skin tone on the surface look very similar. So
yeah, I think undertones are so important, but so underspoken about.
Yeah, because people, a lot of the brands will come out with a spectrum of different, for example, foundations. I feel like that's why there were so many brands, new brands, and I think this is great, coming out trying to support a specific color range, etc. Because they know it's not just about the color, it's how it looks once it's on.
Yeah, for sure. And nudes are a really hard thing to get right, especially in beauty, because it's so vast, and there's still developments from a makeup side that are happening till today.
Yeah, for sure. So you have to mix a lot of shades to get the desired outcome. And you kind of feel for a nude is really necessary for you and I, the woman who does everything, which is everybody, right? You want them to look appropriate, but you don't want them to look boring. You don't want them to just be a beige nail. You want them to kind of look, it's kind of something different about that, and your hand is looking lovely.
So obviously you've seen a lot of interesting brands launch in your career. How did that shape the way that you viewed your own product and this category?
I think very much when I'm writing about them as press, as Forbes writer, I always feel like I'm very much a bystander. I'm observer. I am a commentator. And now I'm actually in the arena doing it. So, and I think it's great that I learned all their journeys and their challenges sometimes and their wins. But really, as a founder, you're the storyteller, but your product really keeps the promise. So regardless what kind of PR, the story, etc., you need to deliver a product that performs, that solves the problem, which I think is, we're all time poor. We want to be able to have the option that is not just a cheap alternative that will look good, that make us feel ready, and that would allow us to be whoever we want without worrying about our nails, simply. So I think, you need to have a solid product regardless about everything else, but having the vision as a founder is also super important.
Yeah, and I think that's an important message for everyone to hear. Like, you need to have that vision and you're in charge of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. But before you go, how time has passed, I don't even know.
I can't believe it.
We have 3 quick-fire beauty questions we ask every guest. Are
Okay.
you ready?
Oh, God, as ready as I can ever be.
What's one beauty rule you love breaking?
Oh, I know that. So less is more. I mean, are we talking about nails or are we talking about eyeshadows? Either one. I think more is more sometimes. Give me the glitter, give me the French tip, give me the pink, give me the cat eye. Just layer everything on top and they can look really good.
Next question is, if you could give your younger self one piece of beauty advice, what would it be?
Oh my God, wear SPF 24/7. Do not go sunbathe on the beach wearing SPF factor 0. That was me. Which is nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
I know, seriously. I used to love that golden tone, and it's definitely not going to help with how my skin is aging in the future.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What's a beauty moment, good or bad, that you'll never forget?
I feel like there is a good beauty moment, but I don't remember exactly which year. It should be early 2000, and it was on a magazine, either Cosmopolitan or Vogue, one of the two. And Denise Richards having a full head of lush hair. You know how her hair is literally amazing.
yeah.
And I couldn't stop looking at it. I feel like that was tattooed in my head, especially given that I don't have a lot of hair like that. So I've always been like, yeah, that was a moment.
Wow.
Oh, Denise Richards, haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah.
I know. Seriously, remember that Friends moment when she just came out and her
Yeah.
hair was like everywhere?
It was amazing, though. Actually, now that I think about it, her hair.
Mesmerizing.
Wow.
Mesmerizing.
Not enough people talk about her hair.
No.
Yeah. Not anymore. I felt like it used to be. Yeah.
It was a massive thing.
But Angela, thank you so much for this great chat. The time has flown by. We've loved hearing about Fette. We've loved hearing about you and just getting to know your journey.
Thank you so much for having me.
We are so excited. And for everyone listening to this episode, it is a reminder that nails can be practical yet expressive and definitely part of your own personal style and identity all at once.
100%.
Thank you so much. That's a wrap.
Thank you.